Hello and welcome to Coleman Tarot. My name is H.E. Coleman and these are going to be your videos for the month of December. Before we start, I just want to say that I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday season and a great month. I also, I can't believe I'm going to say, I can't believe I even got through that because I said it like 50 times and every time I've loved it and I finally said it right. So, okay, I also would like to say that I am sorry that I did not finish my videos last month. I was rushing to complete my book and I was trying to have it out by Christmas. I might have it out by the end of the month. Hopefully it will be out before January 1st. If not, I will release it through Amazon by January 18th. Here's a copy of the book now if you want to see it. The book is about my experiences with the afterlife. I had a heart attack and died about 2 years ago before I started doing any of these videos. And I never told anybody really. I never really talked about it. I only told 4 people. And I didn't really want to ever tell anyone about it or talk about it, but I believe that it's really important to let people know that kind of thing because I think it's something that everyone dies. So I think it's something that everyone's curious about. And I feel like I wish someone had told me some of these things so I wouldn't be so scared and I wouldn't be so nervous about life and death and things like that. It's just kind of like a comfort to know, that everything's going to be fine. Anyway, if you want to read that book, it's going to be about $2 for the ebook. I'm making it really cheap, or the paper. There's also a paperback version. And if you wanted to get it the first week, it's going to be cheaper. I'm going to make it really cheap the first week, so that's the best time to get it. So check either if you are interested, check either January 1st or January 18th. Those are the best days to get it. After that, it'll probably just be a little bit more expensive. But anyway, I hope that you have a great month. I hope that you really enjoy the videos, and I will tell you in the January videos if I made my deadline, if it's coming out, and anything else you want to know about that if you have any questions. Okay, I hope that you have a great month. Bye. Okay, Leo, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. It's nighttime right now, so I am flooding this area with light, and so it's going to be there's a crumb on there from when I was eating earlier. So it is going to be a little different than my normal lighting, but I don't want to get stuff done during the day because it's too many people. Let's see, I'm going to pull one of these out. Page of Cups, and you're going to get the 2 of Swords and the 10 of Swords, and then I'm going to go like this. I just want to give you guys those 3 first. That's the one. There we go. Then you have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, the 9 of Cups, the King of Swords. Your obstacle is going to be the 7 of Swords. Your outcome is the High Priest, and this is the stuff that's hidden from you. Okay, we have the Page of Cups right off the bat. This is going to be good news of an emotional nature that's coming towards you. The cups are about happiness and fulfillment, and this in emotions, and this is coming towards you. Okay, a lot of emotions there. She's standing in the ocean, so it's really good news. Okay, over here we have the 2 of Swords. This is about being in limbo. You can't move forward. You've got the 2 swords represent action. You want to take action, but you can't. You're blindfolded and you're just kind of sitting there. And you can't see the moon. And the moon usually represents a light guiding you through the darkness, and you can't see it. So you can't, even though it's daytime, and there's even a moon over here, you still can't see anything because you're just completely blindfolded. You're completely in the dark. So, and this is in reverse. So this is about you not being able to see what's happening right away, and then later on you're going to be able to see it. And then you'll know what to do with this, okay? Over here you have these 10 of Swords in reverse. This is saying, okay, there's an ending. Look at this guy's head even. There's a definite ending. Something's definitely over. When it's like this, it's saying that something has been over, or something is just at the beginning of the month going to start to be over, where you say, this is enough, I've had enough, it's over, and then you rise above it. So even though things are over and normally you might feel bad about it, or you might feel guilty, or you might feel like, something's unresolved with somebody, it's completely resolved and you've risen above it. You've risen above people trying to say hurtful things. You've risen above people trying to be trolls, or people trying to get back at you, or people trying to, you have closure, and you can just rise above whatever this stuff is that you want to be over. You just rise above it and say, okay, now I'm just going to move on, and I'm not going to let this affect me. Whatever this person or whatever this thing is that's over, you're going to move on from that and start to feel better from all of this. Okay? In the middle of your month, you have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. When it's like this, it's saying that you're holding onto your money too tightly because you're worried that you're going to lose it. And even though you do have enough, you're just completely stressed about money, and so you're holding too tightly. When this happens, you interrupt the flow of the universe giving you money, and you become all stagnant and cut off the easygoing flow of it. But it's in reverse, so that's great. It's saying that you're letting go of control of your money a little bit. You're starting to spend a little bit, and that's actually great because that's going to attract more money to you because you don't have such a negative attitude about money. So you might have been saving a lot in the past, and now you're going to start spending money. And you don't want to spend too much, but at the same time, this is a great card because it's saying that you already are not spending enough. You already are holding everything too tightly. So it's okay for you to let go a little bit, buy yourself something nice, or buy something nice for somebody else. You can let go of a little bit of that control because that's going to be better for you than just holding it all tightly like this. So good for you. Also, the good news, it's above the good news, so it could be that the good news is going to be having you spend money, or it's going to be bringing you money so that you can just relax a little bit. Over here, you have the Nine of Cups. Excellent. This is about being blissful and happy and feeling like everything in your life is almost complete. There's one thing missing, but there's usually always at least one thing missing. So you're feeling really good about yourself, and you're feeling really good about things, and you're feeling like, okay, I don't need to rush out and get anything else. I feel good about what's happening, and you don't have to necessarily feel like that you need to do a lot of things because you feel like now I can just relax and settle down a little bit and just enjoy myself. Okay. So that has to do with the money thing as well, with the good news and the money thing of not being as stressed, not feeling like you have to work so hard to get something. You can feel like you can relax a little bit, at least for this month. Over here you have the King of Swords. Okay, and this is about authority and usually it's about taking action, but you're the king, and you can see he's just sitting there. So he can send somebody else to take action now. He can just sit down and relax a little bit. He's already got the kingdom. He can just send out one of his knights to do something, okay? And it's right above this. So you're definitely the one who's ending this, whatever this was. You're definitely the one who ended it. You're definitely the one who's saying, look, I'm finished with that. I can relax now. I can be in charge of my life now. And I can defend myself very well with this sword and this falcon. The falcon is also people giving you wise advice. But this guy is just sitting there and he's saying, I don't need to move. I don't need to do anything. I can just relax because I've already done everything. I've already taken the action. Now I can just rest. Now, over here you have the Seven of Swords. This is your obstacle. It's the Seven of Swords. And this is usually about somebody who goes around and collects stuff for themselves, but doesn't necessarily worry about the feelings of others, or doesn't necessarily he is still leaving too for people back there. He's leaving too, so he's not being so greedy that he's not taking he's taking everything, but at the same time he's going around just collecting stuff for himself, and he's kind of one, and he can he can feel like he has stuff, he's gathered enough stuff, and he's left a little bit for somebody else, but at the same time you also want to share some of that. And that has to do with this being in reverse. It's about starting to share a little bit more. And that's great, because this was your obstacle, is that you weren't sharing as much and you were holding on too tight to the money, and now it's reversed, and this is going to hopefully stop being your obstacle. It's about sharing a little bit more and not worrying so much about spending money on other people. Over here, this is your outcome, the High Priest. And it's funny because I have another group that's the opposite. They're spending too much on other people and not saving enough. And yours is the opposite. You're saving a little too much and not spending enough. Okay, over here you have the High Priest. This is your outcome. This is about instinctively knowing stuff, instinctively seeing what's going on around you, instinctively being able to figure out what people are saying or doing around you, and figuring out who might need some of this money, who might need things, who might be somebody that you need to get out of your life because they're not being helpful, they're just kind of like making things worse, and who you might need to say a harsh word to, because the King of Swords, usually the Queen of Swords is about having to say harsh words to somebody, but since you are having this thing where you have to rise above people saying or doing mean things, you have to rise above it. So you still are the king. You might need to say something to somebody and just be like, you know, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I'm just going to, it's not going anywhere, so I'm just going to rise above it. And I'm going to either cut you off or cut off this conversation and just move on. So that has to do with this as well, where you're wise enough to see that something's not working. If somebody is trolling you on the internet, or somebody's bugging you at work, or somebody's in the family's bugging you, you're going to be wise enough to say, I can see that this is just you messing with me. I can see that this is just not going to go anywhere. Then there's no resolution. I can see that there's no point to having these conversations anymore, and then I'm just going to rise above it. Okay? So that's your outcome, is being the high priest is being wise. Wise and being able to see the big picture and see what's going on in life, okay? And see others around you and what they're doing. These are the things that are hidden from you. This is the Three of Swords. This is typically like the heartbreak card, where somebody's hurting your feelings, or you have to end a relationship and stuff like that. It's upside down. So it's saying that it's not, you're doing it because it's going to be less painful for you to not pay attention to somebody saying these things, or not have that person around. This is you making the decision, and it's you saying, I am going to have these swords come out of my heart, which is the same thing as this. The swords are coming out. You're walking away from this, and you're walking away from this, and you're saying, I'm going to get out of this conversation, or get out of this fight, or get out of this relationship, or get out of this, like, where you see somebody every day that bugs you or whatever, getting out of it, because it's in reverse. So it's getting rid of the heartache, okay? You're going to be getting rid of something that's causing you heartache. Whether that's a person, or going on Facebook, or whatever it is. If something's giving you heartache and it's harassing you every day, just step away from it and just let it go, because you don't need negativity in your life like that. Okay, over here, this is the other thing that is hidden from you. It is the Two of Pentacles. This is about balancing your life, okay? Keeping things balanced, your work and your home life, and what you want and what you're willing to do to get it. Keeping everything balanced, okay? So it could be about making a decision between two things, that you have to find some kind of balance between two things. Okay, over here, the last one that's hidden from you is the Nine of Swords. This is about fear and doubt, and usually it's fear and doubt that doesn't really have a basis in reality, because she's having a nightmare. She's just worried about things and dreaming about things, and they're not necessarily even real. It's just she's worried and she's stressed, and that's probably why you have this, where you get rid of the thing and then you rise above. Here, there's the stress, and there's you, and then here, the stress is falling away, and there's you rising above it. Okay? So it's just about getting rid of something that's bugging you. Something's making you worry, and it's making you stress, and you need to just get out of it, walk away from it, because that way you will be able to rise above it and have these swords fall out of your heart, so that it's not hurting you anymore, and then you can become the king and the high priest, or the queen and the high priestess, and just kind of rise above it and say, I'm better than this. I don't need to deal with this. I can just go from being a victim to being the king. Okay? The best way to do that is to rise above it and not get into fights with people where it's going to hurt your feelings. All right. Now, here's your fate card for the month. It says, rejuvenation and fulfillment. Excellent. Excellent. Rejuvenation and fulfillment. And look, there's the 10th cup. There's your 9 cups, and there's the 10th one. So you do have the 10 cups. So awesome. There. Rejuvenation and fulfillment. Getting rid of something. The gist of your whole month is getting rid of something that doesn't work for you, that's hurting your feelings. Walk away from that. Then you've got good news coming. Then you've got bliss and happiness coming. Then you've got this, which is rejuvenation and fulfillment, maybe taking a break and just going and doing something nice for yourself, rejuvenating yourself. Then you've got letting go of stressing about money, or letting go of holding on to money too tightly. Relax a little bit, share a little bit, and then take a good look at what's happening around you and try to be a little bit more wise than all these people that are getting trapped into fights and bickering and stress. Especially in this month, there's a lot of stress going on. Try to rise above it and realize what's really important. Okay? Now, this is your spiritual card, artistic expression. Excellent. It says Paul the Venetian. Artistic expression. So this might be a great month for you to get out your feelings with some kind of art project, or some kind of a painting or music, or whatever it is that makes you feel creative. This says artistic expression. All right? So instead of fighting and bickering with people, you might want to go out and just do something that's more creative and that's a better use of your time. Okay? You don't want to get caught up in the stress of this month. All right, so have a great month. Your outcome is the High Priest. You've got a lot of bliss and happiness coming your way. Okay? And if somebody stresses you, make sure that you just say, I don't have time for this. I would like to rise above it. I'd like to be wiser than you, and just walk away. Okay? Have a wonderful month. Bye.